Okay, so unfortunately, hold on, let me make sure. Unfortunately, the computer is not working or following my mouth, and it cut off about 5 minutes of my last video. So, kind of have to have the whole conversation over again. So hopefully it'll be as, it's better the first time, I think, but whatever. But before I talk, look at how cute this is. Oh, it's the little baby. Hi, little baby. Oh, little Samuel. Okay, sorry. I'm obsessed. But anyways, I guess I'll try not to say exactly what I said. I'll just go with it again. But the topic I was talking about today, basically I was thinking about how, I'm the kind of person that I think a lot about, how we are and why we are the way that we are. And, a lot of times that I think that way, it's just out of pure interest, just the psychology in dissecting somebody's past and their childhood, all the way from when they were little babies all the way until they're, adults, and just seeing all the different events that took place and just kind of understanding people's personalities and whatnot. Like, it's just, it's interesting. But then there's the other percentage of the time that, I get a little bit caught up. I think a lot about my past, and, that can be really constructive. And, of course, understanding yourself or why you do things and why you are the way you are, gives you power to change it or to, accept it or whatever you need to do. And, so it can be really constructive. But if you stay stuck in it, it can be really not constructive. Destructive would be the word. But, basically, because I was thinking about how a lot of times we end up not doing things that we want to do, because we stay so stuck thinking about, man, if I had done this in the past, or, if I had stayed with this, or taken these classes, or, all those kinds of thoughts that just make you feel like crap. And I thought about it, and it's like, I was thinking some of these thoughts, let's just say 5 years ago. We'll just pick a number. And, if you're thinking 5 years ago, I was sitting there going, God, if I would have just stayed in dance since I was 6, like when I started, imagine what a great dancer I would be now that I'm 23. Like, I would be phenomenal, and I love dancing, it's my passion, but now that I never stuck with it, like, now it's never going to be a part of my life. And I think about it, and I'm like, if I was thinking about that 5 years ago, imagine if 5 years ago, I, instead of thought about how I didn't stay with it when I was a kid, I just got back into it and I started doing it, I would have 5 years under my belt. And who knows, where I would be along the lines of where I was trying to get with that goal. And, and it kind of helps you to predict the future. It's like, if I don't take those steps now, 5 years from today, I'm going to be looking back and I'm like, God, if I would have just started those dance classes 5 years ago now, that would have been 10 years now under my belt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think there's a lot of different reasons that we don't pursue our goals and our dreams. And, I'm sure I'm not taking away from the fact that, a lot of times I'm sure money is an issue. And maybe you don't have the money to do whatever it is that you want to do. And maybe you don't have the time or the resources or any of those things. I do understand that, and that is true. But I still, I read this quote the other day, and as much as I hated it, I loved it. I hated it because it makes you kind of reflect on yourself and makes you kind of be honest with yourself, and it's not always fun. But it was, if you got cut off again because of a text message. So anyways, I was saying the quote that I read the other day. It was, if you really want something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. And, when I first read it, I was like, no, that's not true. Like, I really do want these things, blah, blah, blah. And I really can't because of this, and this. And, when I thought about it, they're excuses, like there has to have been a time in your life where maybe it was something small or whatever, but if you really, really wanted it or wanted to make it happen or whatever it was, you really do find a way. I mean, you go through all the ins and outs and all the different, anything you have to do to make it happen. So, and a lot of times, for me anyways, those times happen to be if I'm doing something for someone else. For some reason, it's always easy to do something for other people than it is for yourself. And, because I got cut off, I'm not sure if I already mentioned this part or not, so sorry if I'm repeating myself. But, I was just saying how it's true. Oh, I did mention this about, it could be that you don't have the money at the time or this or that. But a lot of times I think on a subconscious level, whether it's out of fear, fear of failure, fear of going after your biggest goals, your biggest dreams, that we subconsciously do kind of come up with reasons why we can't, and we justify it so that we can be a victim of our circumstances, and then we can look back in life and be like, man, I could have been that awesome person too, or I could have been this accomplished person, or succeeded in all my goals, and but unfortunately for me, I had this and this going on. And I hate to say it, but it's bull crap. And and again, I'm speaking to myself when I say all this. And it's just, it's worth it to, you just have to force yourself to. I mean, the time, all the stupid cliches, they're true though. The time is now, blah blah blah. But it's true. Just back to my whole point of, 5 years from now, where are you going to be? Still looking back on all the things that you should have done or you could have done, or if only you had started when you were 2, like that other girl did, that's why I'm not good at this, or whatever. It's all a bunch of crap that we're feeding ourselves, and we're justifying why we're not ever going to reach our goals. And, I refuse to face my biggest fear of not reaching my potential and waking up 60 years old and looking back and be like, dang it, Shayna, you knew the whole journey through that every single day you woke up should have been the day that you started going after what you want to do, and that you were completely capable, and it's your fault you're 60 now with, unaccomplished or just not fulfilled, and as hard as it may be, maybe for months, maybe even longer than that, a year, longer than a year, 2 years, whatever, it might take you forcing yourself every morning to get up and actively go towards what you're trying to do. This is such a vague topic because it's different for everybody, whatever it is that they're not pursuing in their life that they should be. So, excuse all the this and that and things and blah, blah, blah. Like, I know it's very vague, but, hopefully you can fill in those blanks with your own life. And, but yeah, it's going to be hard at first, but it's worth it. What is the alternative? Being that 60-year-old who regrets not doing anything that they wanted to do in their life, and I mean, even if it's pulling teeth every morning, and it's hard only because you're going against your conditioning or what you've been doing for pretty much your whole life, obviously, if you've been this way, so it's uncomfortable. It's going against what you're used to, and so, but I'm telling you, once you start getting in the swing of it, getting into that routine, it feels good. It feels good to actively be pursuing something that means something to you. I mean, even something as small as singing. My uncle got me a couple of voice lessons for I think it was my birthday last year or something like that. And, I'm a closet singer. Like, I love to sing, but, I'm one of those people, and this is one of the things I'm talking about. I work out at the gym, and all I do during my workouts is listen to my music on my iPod and just envision the most amazing performances. And like, one day I'm just going to be performing on stage, and I'm going to have awesome dances, dance routines, and singing. Those are the 2 things that I just daydream about it all day long. And how miserable am I going to feel when I'm at the end of my life and I didn't ever pursue that passion that I have, it always just stayed idle in me, and that's awful. It's the worst feeling ever, and what I'm saying about it feeling good is that just those 3 voice lessons my uncle got me, I think were like a half-hour piece, and in that half hour, I felt so good leaving simply because I was finally doing something that I wanted to do, something that meant something to me, something that was in the direction towards a goal I was trying to achieve, and so imagine getting in the swing of that and doing that on a daily basis. Eventually it's not going to be like pulling teeth. Eventually that's just going to be your routine, and you exercise those muscles, you exercise those freaking risk-taking, goal-pursuing muscles, and eventually that'll be who you are. And how much better will your life be? How much more fulfilled will you be and accomplished? And, how much better will you feel about yourself when that just becomes who you are, instead of somebody who makes excuses or finds reasons or just feels gloomy and down about not doing this or this. And again, I'm talking about myself here. I mean, I do this constantly, and it's driving me nuts. So I'm at my point of changing that, and I thought that I would share with you guys my little epiphany. So, you know, I mean, get tired of it, get sick of it, get sick of the feeling, stop being a victim, and go after what you want, you know, like, I swear, this is one life, you only have one life to live. It's so true, though, and we forget, like, you know, we always think that there's just tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. It's not like that, you know. The years go by, and you think it's hard to do things now. Wait until, you know, it's 10, 15 years from now, and you've got a million other things on your plate. Like, start conditioning yourself now to make your goals a priority. And, you know, and you won't have so many regrets, you know. So anyways, that is my piece for the day. My little pug, I don't know if you guys can hear him snoring over here. Can you? Oh man, I got another text message. I really hope it's been recording this whole time, or I'm gonna cry. But anyways, that's my topic for today. I'll see what I come up with next time. But tune in for the next video. And yeah, just think about it.